the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
A huge blow has hit the minority NDC area and it's been confirmed. Ewo Obi Asempa ekosi sen jumedie so a brand reporter this piece of news ebetu dwa. Now there are two different stories. One happens to do with Supreme Court ruling ya omode ebetu dwa efa a decision earlier on taken by Speaker of Parliament Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. Yeah, now decision the declaration of some 4 seats vacant, thereby rendering the majority side of Parliament to the National Democratic Congress. Yeah, Supreme Court ruling betu just say sana monwa Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin too yeno. In fact, ne nyira mra bia so eno nti yemmo kran fa ntungu na enyoma enko back to said yenete no, which is the NPP representing the majority side of Parliament, the NDC representing the minority side of Parliament, and the various members of Parliament, called independent, both from the NPP and the NDC, because file as independent candidate, is for the next Parliament, not this current Parliament. And to where sir, now what deprive sir MP no ne constituents from a representation in Ghana's Parliament. Now, send this for any me ediasa and ne ewienia no pay o mrase bedwam e bra na NPP awoko out nyina say no manyante ye say lawyers for Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, lawyer Eduzita Maklo, lawyer Tadio Sorry, and no kaka ho do mani akire mu Supreme Court omoko akope stay of execution of the ruling by the Supreme Court. Say and okrebia ni mu lawyers no clock the John Omode NDC for ye ka say as at 3 o'clock ye ka say anopa be no do NDC for nya antie lawyers ni as at 3 o'clock ye ka say bibia sanko so e with the Supreme Court. Literally the extra say asemo Supreme Court e kan ye no Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin has nothing else to do than to enforce the decision of the Supreme Court. Report no ebeba obetie ensem no in details. The also these members of Parliament from the NPP, eco independent, enunti Emma Abbas Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, a diplomacy vacant. Yes, nanti, yes, say. And kasaye bia koso between majority leader the Honorable Alexander Afenyomakin and Pennyphobia what the New Patriotic Party mo, including the Honorable Kennedy Ohene Japan and the likes. Ama nei ya mami Cynthia Morrison ya rescinding the decision of going independent. Sanso na wa for kodwa sante so hu ensesaye bi ba ho and the others. And also to saying and also yebeje free the life report. Ya aba ekosi saying jumedi so ewie yanti yanko na yankoti.
Who were in that meeting. So he just zoomed in and then did his analysis on the fact that they did not have a quorum to take decisions. And then he said that on the basis of that, he's adjourning Parliament indefinitely. And this particular meeting, he has suspended it, adjourned the House indefinitely. He says there will continue to be talks. When there's any agreement, and the House will have to come back, they will do so. It will mean that a lot of key government business or 2 Supreme Court judges, their fate is now unknown.
And all the bills that would be affected. I know that there are some LIs and some bills as well now by contemplate, including even the free SHS bill. It didn't a bill say what they are likely to be affected. But I'm present Busa way. Say, as we speak, do you know, say, speakers were instructing the lawyers, say, or share if they can also set aside the decision of the Supreme Court.
In fact, that was the indication we have been getting since yesterday.
Okay.
As of 3 p.m. yesterday, we had an indication that lawyers of the Speaker were at the registry at the Supreme Court trying to file. And then at some point, they were asked to stop by the Speaker himself that they should not file.
Okay.
In fact, this morning as well, an NDC MP, in fact, Dr. Dominic Ayine told the Sister Media House that lawyers for the Speaker, Thaddeus Sorry and his firm, were at the Supreme Court trying to file to stay the execution of that order of the Supreme Court. And they were trying to get that done.
Okay.
But we can confirm that as of now, no process has been filed by the Speaker or his lawyers.
Okay.
It will mean that the 7 days the Supreme Court gave them to file their statement of case
in relation to
substantive matter is
no?
counting up until Thursday. Then that will kick in, and then next week they would have to file the memorandum of issues, and then the case will have to be dealt with. But as of now, we can confirm, say, Speaker and the lawyers and filing any application in court. They have not filed any process at all as regards to the order that the court made.
Okay, and meaning, sir, if they don't file any such process, and also would be an acknowledgement of the order from the Supreme Court. Yes. Wow, that's really interesting. As we speak, no, after the bills and LIs are buying business a bit suffer from this. What do we know?
Starting with the LI, the Supreme Court were hoping to lay an LI. It will guard the adjudication of presidential and parliamentary petitions.
Okay.
And we know that when it comes to LI, they would have to go through 21 sitting days. As we speak, it's almost looking uncertain. Unless Parliament decides when they come back, whatever time they come back, to do a lot of sacrifice and sit to get that LI to mature. Yeah. So there is that. There's another LI that the Electoral Commission wanted to also lay as regards to the 7th December election.
Yes.
That is also now on ice. When you come to bills, there's the free SHS bill. There is the EPA bill, a very key in terms of the IMF conditionality that was set for us. That has been reaffirmed several times by the majority leadership. Then there is the matter of LI 2462 or Mampinika said revoked. And we expected that it will be revoked last week.
The amount for mining in forest reserves.
Yes. They wanted to revoke it, but the whole of last week there was a lot of political issues. That LI did never come up to the floor, even though the AG had written to the clerk of parliament said the LI was ready and they were ready to do business, but it wasn't late. The expectation was that this week they would do something on it. That is also not going to happen because of the current suspension of the House. So when you look at some of those bills, those are the key ones.
Yes.
But there's also $250 million.
$250 million.
That is the Ghana Financial Stability Project. $250 million.
I was on Parliamentary
approved. That is also on ice now. There's also the amount of about $350 million worth of tax waivers, and also is currently on ice. That is also not being dealt with. And in fact, the majority side have been trying to get that through.
Yes.
But because they have not even gotten some of their members to support it, that is why they have been struggling. That is also on ice. And then finally, the matter of the Supreme Court nominees, 2 of them who were nominated by the president. The appointment committee have vetted them. The report, we understand, is ready. But because of this, the report has not even been laid. And then finally, the vote on appropriation. The budget for 2024, just the first quarter of next year, so that when the substantive budget. But for the first quarter, the finance minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adabo, is expected to come at the start of November to present a budget, the vote in lieu of appropriation for 2025 first quarter.
Yes.
But given what we have now, that is also suspect. And there are concerns that if you don't deal with this as soon as possible, you can have a government shutdown. If you don't deal with this and you go for election, you perhaps will have to come back after election and all that. So Obi, they could see what
me tete and Benghazi for pictures me no na me dey send no eguso. These are pictures are viral on social media. At the time we were getting ready to start the show, apparently the member of parliament for Aguna West constituency picture
yes.
Yeah, making rounds.
Yes.
What's the story behind picture way?
In fact, the information some people are telling us is that Cynthia Morrison may have withdrawn her candidature as an independent candidate, but we don't have confirmation.
You need confirmation.
We tried to get the majority leadership to get us information. They would not allow us. But Cynthia Morrison was in parliament. No majority office. In fact, picture here or social media. That is the majority leader.
Where Afenyomark in office, no.
Yes. And that is where he spoke with Kennedy Japan and other persons. They tried to have some back and forth on that. And so that is the information we are getting. But we have no confirmation yet.
But that confirmation will come when she sent an official letter to the Electoral Commission. So I withdraw the decision. But if these pictures are anything to go by, it's been a while we saw her in such hearty moment with the colleagues in Parliament, especially the majority leader and Honorable Kennedy Akompreko Ejapon. In the picture, and you see Eugene Boachientri, Kennedy Ejapon, Afenyomark, lady no okay. Obani former MP. Hey, me say former Kumasi Mayor, Mama Patricia PJ, ewo na bema no gyina say ne hwan ya ono nso ewo mi nto ba wo be hu omu nyina omo ne Cynthia Morrison etwa picture. What it means we don't know. The ayatete though and say we withdraw the decision to want to go as an independent candidate. But I said the Kwasante kai no the prima facie evidence I bet say indeed that decision has been made. A letter or betro the Electoral Commission of Ghana. In the train said in Yoma ABC Ako very interesting development in Ghana's parliament the whole of today. That's a snap of what has happened. And Kwesi Botwe says
Dubai inti ebeto aso dia ma ba meduru ho ene message bi a NDC di ba bia no mu hu se eya mutu.
Yeah, it doesn't fly.
It doesn't fly. Inti edu se aye obi a o onmem wo nsuo mu na atase na che se wo se ebobbo ha na ye de fa ha na ye kohye nkrofo echi na manfo be ye strike na onapo na guy no fence Professor Bibi no they also
jump
university from cost strike. They say yes you are promising say yes you are promising say obey education minister say John Winia into who ne video na or sapa mo ha na omo bo na JDF ona apo na obo and am say hey obenya minister so bebre enye easy I was say wosa now say so put him on cost strike so at here na anyi bai omo message am fly no media dem 2NDC for no say before me ba me content dem be no e ba me de obed hade a me sre omo bebre yeni na ye abusua ye nua NDC for etie mi me say yeti komu we this area and yeti asumdwe mu mema obi am be ye mistake nya gidigidi ti say de no a mo boys ni bi akoye wo adjura we will leave their law courts to deal with them so at here Odia will leave Odia Imran for Mundi into the minkum because after all Imrano are taking the course. But Ohinaba Aba Yekoi eye simple sama Obia and it is NDC for media me two bia for Muma yenye yabusiano na Obia Kotuna Bani Engineer and Chani and Kain near Fasum Biemba because Obia be prepared.
Obia be prepared.
Yes.
That's
Obia be prepared on the elections. Obia be prepared. I'm telling you, in the middle belt, we are leaving no stone unturned. And I'm only cautioning. Say, mu recruiting Crawford, say former policeman bio, and I'm more friend Crawford, mon Crawford ni bisro, almost say I'm join more. And he say, young Crawford Kofremu, and I'm committee. I'm not going to mention names. All I'm telling them to say, Aya Hafuo, Aya Shantio, Aya Western Norfolk, Aya Bunu Easto, everybody got to be steady. Ubia into the baffle. Say, Medo, Kotuaba, Nebrefia. That's all. Ubia into the baffle. Because Ghana for intelligence, Biano, NDC for Nichi. And there's no way we will go to the election not prepared. I will not go into this. It is my own responsibility and my team and my network. But we are not going into the elections unprepared. In every electoral area, in every constituency, in every zone, and on regional standby, we are not going to the election unprepared. Enough is enough. Into the to
be into the baffle.
Into the baffle. And no bia enkotra and that is all I'm asking for.
Mankranso Edra Edujama Niwe Dibiase Obuase Atwumamponua Atwumangobieja. It keeps happening.
Yes. I have no
and
south
so,
and west.
Those who have been victims, how long will we fall on the law to take its course while people are suffering?
Yes.
People have been injured.
Sir,
this weekend let me read him.
Good.
Any Kasem.
Good.
Collegiada constituency.
Good.
And then the boys are saying that.
Good.
And you want to pay because they don't know why they be a two about presidential we win.
Yeah.
Parliamentary we lose.
Yeah.
And it is like say ehunahuna patapa semtino presidential no ye jama mo marene nanso parliamentary the force ebeje.
And our boys no be kawa half say
and no say and declare results.
Ye kochia. On the boys be ka say bia ye kochi nkrofo na MPP for no.
Muhammad said these were the stories they were telling me yesterday and then Saturday.
I've proven to you say I'm your belt coordinator and I'm on top of everything everywhere. They be no makache boys and say leadership by exampleship. Ati say say memo bi abamu nemo mu no say BBC na say anya bia no de emfa ne say bia mo ye MPP for na say atwuma so kakra o de NC at elections nemo no de before elections de atwuma so kakra emfa nya example mo bi hu say ye amfo krampo mo ye atwuma so yes, what I'm saying is that the ACC now boys in the catcher no say a belly or more. But what I'm trying to put forward to you is say BBC almost feel say NDC 4 boys in the jaw more. But what you say? And that ebu my bums and MPP for and I'm say between now to elections and elections, she didn't see and she see susua almost soon. So what you say? But sometimes there was a with me leadership by exampleship. Opening the one out here by so. To the be I was in your big can to the nyafe. The old can me to us about the fancy wa. But I'm telling you, sir, if you insist,
I'll win videos, no.
Yeah.
Abanga one there.
Yeah.
That's drip machines. So many quiet men. This for someone just no more the second diumachi chichebi.
And also no, Abanga court, and also you took key charge of the approach that was you take you on. Anyway, now when you know, and I
didn't know rehearsing what they would do on 7 December, and then by the time we want to act, na umumbe who umumpie metuabo mabu umumbe
ehona surprise in the free abano. Ehona surprise in the free abano.
A surprise of.
Anybody say we were abamu anye easy. Say anano no yekweti wa na problems by amokai. Na NDC for no blame MPP for. Who say who are buying so a. Sometimes no person opposition for no na a push you na there you have to react to the force. Such as here. Into ye my asema ye denta na me kan wa say. Eto de bia. Mo my asema nye de kaka na Ghana fo hu say. Sebi. Omo na edeba. Na ntesukoko ni ba akofo enum. Won say ade no. Ohine ba. Because in now, so we have to go through the elections in a way say tension will be calm. It is a man to me as a coordinator. Now say me charge boys this is here and I say ochinomo charge out. On make say oh mo amuti aba mu kwa na mo ye and I say what you say. I don't think that me boys no be omo wo bia no. O de omo hwe de NDC 4 year ne de omo ye ni na but at the end of the day omo ye wie no a de bi omo no mo ye at fault. Ghana for e be di masema mo be hu say bibia e koso bia no e NDC 4 na de ba. But the surprise ni say e be do baby no na be ma 4. Omo 4. Yeah, I'm telling you. The operational intelligence will not be disclosed. But yema omunye because it's here normal homete. Omu messages nenko. Omu hudi omu ye aye etutu sem. But we are going to come out of the elections and you'll be surprised. And I'm assuring you here that we'll come out of the elections and ube bonsem amame. Say, Libra, you know what you're talking about. Until there's nowhere Obama boys are charging. No makoye gidigidi baby Debbie. Oh ye bema na say o kaya ho na o ye intelligence na say oni ye adwuma. Ye bema sem election day. O the NDC for the year before and hwe. But that is where you spring a surprise. The surprise is when you have kept quiet. Why you come na ameo na fe there was any somdie. There be ya odia. Such as here. Into there. Remember ye inside boys and my boys in anya calm. Obi anya calm. O the NDC for the na mon document na mo mamukro for no who say ye mo na ade bibia ba. But NCH won afe. And that one when it comes they cannot stop it. Or they can't stop it. they cannot. There's no problem. Omo na ye, omo gu so omo nye. But me to NDC for say, omo ye ntina asumdwe mo. Because what would be man here you be create problem unnecessarily. But anybody you see, let's go to the messages now. A failing to omo yes I know. On say, you ever start election? Omo say Bawumia a liar. On say atomso.
Yeah.
Because Bawumia no can and one say onama or can there. Obetumi ayenko a. And the NDC for omo ntimi nka de omo ye omo kodu ade omo hama so be anopa bi obemo obia nkosia baako. Obi can free SHS no. O can free egg. Said ade. Only message. Attempted yenko na John Mahama. The leader is insulting, insinuating. And all of the actions no it is omo lusu. Enti Bawumia is a liar and then fly. Now, afibia ye co-elections are omo kan incumbent abuse. This is the only elections are ye kwa omo ntumi anka incumbency abuse. Because Bawumia ti bas mu na oko nti untumi kwa kaza wa kofa obi esika na ode yes ade we. Enti when we say this your matimi yes ade no omo ntumi nka. 3 tribalism. Ebe ko election bia asante for no omo party no omo mpe komofo asem unzo omo twetwe omo ha ya afi obo na esi edun keketi ade nam ha